Hi everyone, Leah the trader here from TMAT, and today it's Sunday, May 11th, and I'm going to go over a new scanner for next week, and specifically I'm going to talk about when you see call buying for the intraday flow, what does it mean, right? And then we can look at some charts for next week. So let's look at the scanner together right here. So when you see call buying on the scanner, we have put selling, call buying, call selling. There are different indicators, but this particular one is showing you that there are huge volumes, about 5-day average, right? So on that day, when you see this indicator, it means that the volume is way above average of the 5-day volume. So it kind of cuts the noise because you see that there are huge institutions buying. That's what this scanner is showing you. So it cuts the retail noise. And also, when it's aligning with the unusual option flow as well, that is kind of the best case scenario, right? So if you have call buying and then you see puts are being sold, there's a huge volume on that. Of course, we all know, or people who trade options, that put selling is also a bullish signal, right? And then you have call buying and strong bull on the unusual option. So that's both, it's aligning pretty well. So let's look at some technical charts. First, I want to recap last week, and I still have my stocks there from last week. It was a quite funky week. So on Sunday last week, I told you about the stocks that we see on scanner, and I gave you the setups, right? So like, for example, Oklo was on the scanner from last week. So you could have played the retest or retest of this big candle we had on Tuesday. I missed it, so I played the retest, and I'm in on 27 entry and 25 is stop. I think it looks pretty good. It's definitely setting up to run. So I'm in this one. QBTC I missed. It was on the scanner, but also the same thing. If you have the stock up 15-16%, I don't want to trade it. So for me, the perfect trade on this one, for example, if I would make it there, would be breakout of 813, right? That was a resistance. I missed it. I didn't take this trade. You know, it opened, it had a huge, almost like gap fill, and then, you know, you would have to be really fast. I wasn't trading it because I was in Oklo. But this is another setup around the 11, which is like high of this candle in here. It's kind of a nice round number. So there was another setup I got in. I gave it a really giant stop loss because I don't want to get stopped out, and those names can get really volatile, as you can see. So we'll see. This can go to 20. If you look at the movements that this stock easily has, when it really runs, it can run, look, 100%. So that is my target, and I'm giving it about 2 weeks because it's a momentum trade. So if it doesn't do in 2 weeks, I'm going to be out. Then we had RGTY. That one also, I was saying on that Friday was huge. So wait for a retest towards 20. Wait for retest on this candle. I didn't buy it down here, which you could, but I had another setup here because I like this more the breakouts than the reversals. That's my personal preference. So I got in on Friday before close because first I was not very happy about the price action. We can look at it together, what it was doing. Sure, it was breaking out a little bit, but the volume back then when I looked wasn't the greatest. And then towards the end, we broke out again, but I liked the volume more, right? Because here, as you can see, the volume is declining. I don't like that. The volume needs to be improving when you have a breakout. And then I saw here, volume is picking up towards the end of the day. We are holding well above the breakout level, so that's why I got in. Seems like we had good news from China and US, so it should work in our favor. I think we had IONOQ last week as well. This one I'm not in. I'm waiting. It's just chopping around. You know, you have to choose your setups and what you like to trade, and then trade based off of that. And MSTR is pretty good. It was nice breakout retest. I think MSTR is going to run because we had news that the Swiss National Bank is buying $150 million worth of MSTR, which is huge to have exposure to Bitcoin. So this one looks pretty good. I think this one can fly with the rest of crypto. So these are kind of my targets for 36, and then just keep it right, I think. All right, well, let's look at some new stocks for next week. So UBS. All right, this one looks nice. Why? Because it's making about 200 moving average, and those are really good setups to trade. So UBS would be my pick, and it's also holding there. And we have call buying, plus we have strong bull unusual options. So I think this one can go easily to fill the gap approximately here. That would be my setup. Give it $1-2 stop. If you want to be in that trade longer, you can do $2 stop. It's probably even too much. I would do 30-50. Give it $1. It's fine. This one doesn't move so violently. So that's UBS. I'm going to add it now to my watch list. Okay. So we have it for next week. I wish that this thing would leave here. It doesn't want to leave. Okay. So plus UBS. Stocks. See, just work on your watch list. That's all you need to do as a trader, and have it ready for the next week, because then when market opens, it's going to get pretty quick, and then you won't have time to pay attention. So next one on the scanner, we can look and we see LTBR. All right. So let's look at that one. So now I look here, and first when I look at this chart, I'm like, okay, I don't know if I like it so much. You have to do your research, and you can see me now live how I do this. All right. So this could be inverse head and shoulder. I would not get into this trade about, maybe if I'm about this breakout here, 1024, that would be my entry. So you have to have those ready. And then of course, to execute, you have to have the condition met, plus you have to have strong volume. If you don't, you just don't enter. That's why some of those from last week I didn't enter, because I didn't like the setup. All right, so let's look at more. Roblox. And then we have MSTR, of course, I already went over. That's gonna fly. Roblox. Okay, this looks pretty nice. It's trying to break out. This is very nice. That would be a good setup. And go to all-time high or whatever. This across this high. Looks good. Roblox looks very good. It's in a good trend too. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, enter. Let's move this old trade setup here. Enter about 72. Stop at 69, and then your targets would be a new all-time high or new high. Yeah, 1.5R would be this level, and you could go even probably till 80. I'm not sure if it's all-time high. I think that Roblox opened, IPO'd. Oh yeah, no, the all-time high is way up here. Okay, yeah, so there is a way you can hold this. 80, 82 would be another level of target around this chop zone here. Okay, so that's Roblox. That also looks pretty nice if, again, the conditions are met. Just because it's on the scanner doesn't mean you're gonna go long, right? And you need to pay attention to this, because I'm not gonna trade all of those. I'm gonna pick some that I like, that work for me. You have to do your own due diligence, which ones work for your portfolio, for your personality. Some people are gonna not wanna trade nuclear stocks because they are extremely volatile. It's not for everyone. You might wanna trade something you're more familiar with, like Net. Net I like to trade. It's a really nice stock to trade. One day, right here. All right, so this had a huge gap. Looks really nice. the gap would retest or hold right here. Maybe it's gonna retest a little bit and then go higher. That is kind of my setup. Again, I would wait because this doesn't look very strong. It looks like, okay, there was buyers, sellers. I would wait until it retests, probably fills the gap around 125, 127, and then go back up. And then have much tighter stop. 130, 126, you know. So first around here, and then this would be my other ad. Maybe I would do one too. That's how you play with it, okay? So I'm adding those 3 to the watch list for next week. And one more stock I was gonna go about is ASTS, because that one I really like. Yeah, this chart is also like building up. I like this kind of consolidation here, you know, and it's holding. This is my entry, 25, 23. You have the entry, and it seems like it's getting ready to fly. At this point, I would have the stop a little bit lighter, 24.30. I wouldn't have bigger stop because it's no point. This consolidation needs to basically explode higher. That would be 2.4 hour trade. So very nice setup. I like it. So Bitcoin keeps going. Now it's a little bit down, but still, I think all-time high will happen soon. And all crypto-related stocks are pretty good. So that's all for today. We have a lot of these screenshots coming. Of course, tomorrow morning there will be a bunch of them. There's 50 stocks at this point that we are adding. But you will see that fair value gap, and of course this kind of call buying, it's also very powerful for the long side. So I posted 3 stocks for you today, and then through the week as we go, we will see if there is more to trade. But again, do your own homework, look at the scanner. If you have a question, ask, and good luck. Have a good Sunday.